something a little different with heavy music. We kind of noticed that like a lot of bands coming out recently have been almost like one dimensional. Like they have like really aggressive song or like lyrical styling, but we wanted to kind of take the approach of emotional. So being heavy while like telling a story about, I don't know, love or hurt or anger, but trying to get across the whole spectrum of emotions.
Yeah, okay. So, like, what kind of bands do you, like, kind of take for this inspiration, then, from, like, each kind of side, then? Like, so if you were, like, let's kind of start off with, like, from the metal side, then. So what kind of inspirations do you take to try and put into Heartist?
Let's see, from the metal side of things, I always listen to bands like Trivium, Killswitch, of course. I just like melodic guitar parts like In Flames, but also we're trying to mold like the rock sound in with it as well. So like dark rock, like AFI, My Chemical Romance, even stuff like Jimmy Eat World and our newer stuff. So we're trying to really bridge the gap between the metal world and the mainstream rock world.
Alright, cool. And if you were going to try and, again, same kind of question, but other side of that, so like, are there other influences from them?
Other influences. And I love bands like Him and, let's see.
Sorry, but no, you're saying like you're trying to mix kind of the two genres of music there and stuff like that. I'm literally like, you've like from the metal side and from the other side, you're trying to combine, like you're trying to say these two kind of aspects. Yeah. Like what would be the other side? Unless Him was.
I mean, like I named metal bands, and then like the softer, softer
yeah.
rock bands, and that would be like the My Chemical Romance side of it, and All American Rejects or just stuff like that. Just like more like a common like rock sound. So, rock guitars, but keeping them heavier. So like we all come from like metal and hardcore backgrounds, but we're all kind of a little more grown up now. So we're trying to put in like the mainstream rock stuff with what we like grew up with.
Okay, cool. And before we go any further then, just one last question about the history is, well, how did you guys form? Because I know you formed last year and then all of a sudden you just kind of blew up on the scene a wee bit. We'll get to that in a sec, but I was kind of wondering before that, like how did this band come about? Like how did you all meet?
I mean, we all played together in local bands around Orange County back home, and it was kind of a thing where everyone's bands kind of broke up around the same time, and then we didn't play music for about a year after that. So then there's a year gap between us being in local bands and then this band forming. And it was myself, our guitarist and drummer from my old band, started this band, and then we found Bryce from another local band in the area and started working together on some demos and stuff. And it was pretty much us three for the first like 6-7 months of the band, just writing and recording. And then we found Evan, our bass player, and had him join, and then that wrapped it off the lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. And then from there, like I said, you've just completely blown off. I mean, like, well, you know, like you've got signed to Roadrunner Records. You're touring with Killswitch Engaged, which is fantastic, man. I'm like, did you ever expect this to happen? Right.
I mean, we had no idea because like literally a year ago, we were still sitting in my bedroom, like just dreaming about this kind of stuff, and it was all just right place at the right time. We emailed our local booking agent that runs our hometown venue and said, hey, we want to play some local shows. Here's our new band. So if you find any shows that fit us, let us know. And then we get an email reply back 2 weeks later saying, hey, I love the stuff. I'm also an A&R for Roadrunner. I want to talk to you about the band. So it was all kind of like, oh, whoa. That's not what we were expecting to get out of this email. We just wanted to play a local show, and now we're talking to labels and stuff, so it was pretty crazy.
It's amazing how that can happen, though, where you just send like one thing off and then immediately it just takes off. You know, it's happened to a lot of people, you know? Yeah. No, and what's great about it is obviously Killswitch Engage is one of your biggest influences as well, too. There's interviews out there as well. I mean, now that you've kind of been touring with them and stuff like that, have you kind of been able to like get a chance to like, you know, for instance, like jam and stuff like that with like Mike, you know, Joel and stuff like that, you know?
No jamming yet, but we've been talking a lot, or at least I have, with Jesse, just about you know, like how touring is and like stuff you want to do as a young band to have longevity on the road. You don't burn yourself out, and stuff like avoiding all the heavy drinking and partying, and just stay focused in the younger years so you can get your band where you want it to be before like the partying world gets involved and I don't know. He's been a big like role model this tour for all of us, just keeping us on track and making sure we're making the right decisions and stuff.
Absolutely. Well, how have those decisions been like when you've been performing on stage then for like fans? I mean, what's kind of obviously Killswitch Engage is it's a wee bit weird. Like Silosis and yourself is kind of like the two sides of Killswitch Engage in my opinion. It's quite nice. But like, what's been kind of like the reaction from like the fans from like after gigs and stuff like that? Like, what's been on this tour?
It's kind of been hit or miss, but like generally the fans have been like really receptive to our music. It's been pretty cool because like you just said, Silosis is more like the thrash side of metal, and we're more the melodic side. So it's awesome playing with Killswitch because they have both elements in their music, and I feel like they really were like set the milestone for combining like that kind of metal and hardcore and melodic and heavy. So it's awesome to be playing with them and be showcasing our influences with our influences.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But to kind of go back, you were saying it was like hit or miss with like the fans and stuff like that. I mean, can you tell us some of the some of the standout comments that you've received from fans, even the hit and the miss ones, just with a laugh?
I mean, we just got off. This is the last week of a 4-week European UK tour, and now we're in the UK run. But Europe is a lot. They're way more into metal, like hardcore metal, than as opposed to us. It's more melodic and experimental kind of type of metal. So like we play some nights and fans would like just love it and go, wow, this is so fresh and new, it's awesome. And sometimes we'd play a song and like think, oh yeah, we just played that song so well, and we'd look out in the crowd and there'd be no one moving, no one clapping. We're kind of like, But yeah, like Germany was awesome to us. Everywhere in Scandinavia was great. We had a little trouble in Paris, but hopefully next time they'll be a little more receptive and welcoming. But everywhere else has been awesome though.
Absolutely. What's been the standout of the nights and stuff like that? Obviously Manchester I heard Manchester was a really good gig actually.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Manchester was awesome. We've been hearing nonstop about the UK this entire tour from both the bands saying how this is gonna like be the cherry on top of this awesome tour. So we're stoked to be out here. Yeah. Aside from UK dates, we had some awesome shows in Norway. Was definitely one to remember because it was pretty cool. We actually had a bunch of fans there singing along with us that knew the words because like we're such a new band and we only have one EP out. It's crazy to go across the world and see people singing our lyrics that we didn't even know we had fans there. So it's awesome.
Well, that's the crazy thing about you guys. You only have like one EP out. I mean, tell us a wee bit about that EP because even within that EP, it's got some quite interesting themes and stuff going on there. You know, tell us a basic info. You know.
I mean, we really wanted to showcase like the full spectrum of our songwriting. We didn't want to just put out an EP that only had one type of songwriting on it. So we have heavy songs, we have some like rock songs and like some slower vibey stuff in there, and we just want people to know what's coming on the full-length album. So when they get the album and they hear softer songs, that they won't be like, oh, I thought they were a metalcore band. We don't want to be back in that corner where we're only the metalcore band. We want to be able to branch out and experiment and be melodic and just do whatever comes out when we're writing instead of trying to funnel our songwriting into one direction.
Okay. Well, how is that kind of spread? Well, it sounds as though like it's good and stuff like that, but it sounds as though it's like almost quite spread out in that kind of sense. If that makes sense, like you're one thing and the other and stuff like that. Is there going to be like a general focus for the next album and stuff like okay, this is what we are and that kind of idea?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the full-length album, we're definitely finding more of our sound. Because like I was saying, when the band started, it was only 3 members writing all the music, and now we have a full band and we're all collaborating on the songwriting. So our sound's definitely coming more into our own, as opposed to it being us taking influences from different bands and putting it into our songs. I think now we're starting to write our own music, and you can really clearly see that there's going to be a difference between the EP and the full-length album, but you can tell it's the same band. We're just starting to really lock into what you want to do.
Well, I'm going to go kind of back on that point in a sec, but talking about the new album, there's kind of a talk about it, like kind of start working on it like early 2013 and stuff. First of all, and then I heard like from another place it was a wee bit later, so I'm not really too sure what was happening there. Has work started on that? I'm assuming work has started on that, yeah? Has it started? Yeah.
I mean, we'll be recording it this coming September, and that should come out early 2014.
Okay.
So that's a more realistic time frame.
Okay, cool. Well, even with what you were saying and stuff like that about, like, you know, the whole different things and stuff like that, I mean, like, you know, you're kind of mature and trying to find your own sound. Can you describe what that sound is? Like, if you were to relate it to maybe bands or just in your own words.
Oh, let's see. It's kind of hard because, like, even we play these songs back and we go, like, what does this really sound like? And we can't really pinpoint it because it's like we're playing like hard rock music, but not in the way of like a 3 Days Grace or something like that. But we're trying to like fill that gap in between the hard rock and metal world. So it's kind of like taking stuff from Panic at the Disco and Slipknot, mushing it together and playing it in drop A and still having it come out as like a rock song, but still heavy as crap. So it's pretty interesting. I'll have to give you a sneak preview of this.
Panic at the Disco combined with Slipknot. So should we expect you wearing masks and have like some sort of suit on then?
Definitely not. Definitely no jumpsuits, no masks. But
I love that. So I love the idea of Panic at the Disco, that style. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, well, obviously, like I said, kind of going back in the whole, you know, these guys literally just started, you know, like, I mean, what kind of, you've been on kind of some high profile tours and stuff like that. What's kind of been the general advice that you've kind of taken on board then for like when it comes to the time of, you know, recording this album? What are you going to focus on at the time?
What are we going to be focusing on? I mean, we just want to write good songs. We don't really, like, I don't know, we haven't really considered the touring aspect of the next album yet. So
no, sorry, not the touring aspect, just the general recording aspect.
I mean, we want to write good songs. I mean, just memorable choruses and unique parts that people will, like, be able to listen to, and it will be easy on the ears to listen to, but also will make people think and go, oh, that's kind of interesting. I like what they did with this part, or I like how this breakdowny part feels like a verse, or this chorus doesn't feel like a typical chorus, but it's catchy. Yeah. So we're just trying to like step out of the box with our own writing and try some different stuff.
So. Cool. Awesome. We'll tell you what, we'll kind of leave it at that and stuff like that. But before we go, have you got any kind of message for the fans and stuff like that?
Just want to say thank you for everyone that comes out to our shows every night, comes out early and watches us, because it's incredible to come across the entire world and see people that are so welcoming and appreciative of new music, and you guys are the ones that keep all this going. There would be no music scene, no shows, if it wasn't for the fans coming out and supporting the bands, and I think it's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and for fans listening, for the love of God, write them a bloody Wikipedia page. just do it.
Make us one.
So that was an interview I had for my personal hard rock / heavy metal platform, Rock Made of Metal. If you liked what you heard, then good, because this channel is all about connecting the fan to the band. If you want to be connected to all the latest hard rock / metal news, then please subscribe to this channel. Then check out www.rockmadeofmetal.wordpress.com. There, send in your messages of what you want to hear from next and from who, and I'll do my best to get that sorted. Thank you so much for listening in, and I hope to hear from you.